Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patera with you. We are on day 6 of the food challenge. We are back at it. Breakfast this morning was simply one little pull of bread for me and some dried blueberries. We have gotten a delivery of hay today. We are pulling tomatoes. Right now I am making cottage cheese. I'm making a video separate on that so you can watch that. I'm about to pull this off and we're going to heat up some meat and start prepping for dinner. So just wanted to show you what's going on. I did just pull some fresh tomatoes off of a couple of the vines. So we have a lot of yummy things coming up and more canning to go. So let's get started. All right, guys, so my troops have requested hamburgers today. Yes, this is turning into a food challenge, not just for me. Food storage. We're not challenging necessarily our water supply so much per se, or whether we eat on paper plates or all these other things. I don't eat paper plates, so that's not part of the challenge. But what I am doing is taking my meats that I am trying to can and that I'm thawing out, which would thaw out in a crisis, and I'm trying to start really using them. So I've taken, that's my meat, not the stores, and I'm mixing it up and I'm putting seasoning in it, just a little bit of seasoning. Right over here I've got some steak seasoning, salt, pepper. You can add some Worcestershire, whatever you've got on hand to make hamburgers taste good. I'm going to put those out there and fry them up. The potatoes and peppers are going, and I'm hoping to make some custard, and I've got cottage cheese cooking up on the side, so I'm working all elements right now. So I'm just going to work these up and make some patties. All right, guys, so we got burgers going, more burgers going, because we have meat that we are going through. Then I'm going to whip up some custard. You've seen me make this custard 100 times. It's raw milk, flour, sugar, vanilla, and egg yolks. Farm fresh right here, guys. Potatoes and the peppers are still cooking up, so I'm going to get this and go check on my cottage cheese. We're just going to have a feast today. Oh, and not to mention, we have a watermelon. Actually, we have a lot of watermelons from old Fred. So we'll definitely slice up one of those. Because see, he brings us watermelons. I give him eggs, which, as I told you before, he calls hen fruit. So we barter fruit. That's how we're rolling today. Let's keep cooking this lunch up. All right, guys, a real simple and quick lunch today. I could have bread with this and make a bun, but I had bread this morning, so I'm going to save that for something else. So I'm just going to have the hamburger bun, the hamburger patty. We used to eat this all the time when I was a kid. My kids just look at that and said, "Are we going to have bread or a bun or anything?" And I said, "If you want to." I said, we didn't always do that. So we'd eat it with, like you see here. So I'm going to have this for lunch, and everybody else is eating with me, of course. I told you my gremlins would come around. And then I'm having watermelon. I literally just cut this 5 minutes ago. And water, and I've got dessert going over there, and we're already doing the pre-prep with our cottage cheese and a little bit with dinner. So I'm going to dig in because I'm hungry, because like I said, a little bit of bread and dried blueberries, while it was good at the moment, whoo, we are hungry because we are hauling hay. Oh yeah, she is about ready to roll. Look at that, looking good. All right, guys, time for dessert. I made my homemade custard. You've seen me make that. We call that Peg's pudding. This is the homemade custard that I make with my raw milk and farm fresh eggs, some sugar, vanilla, and flour, and I make it for banana pudding, which is called, the pudding though, however, is just Peg's pudding. My great-grandmother made banana pudding. This is where my Nana learned it, but she didn't like bananas. So she would put it on pineapple. Why is this a good thing? Because you can store pineapple. You can can it yourself, or you can buy it just like this. This has over a 2-year expiration date this fall. So I'm way over 2 years for this, okay? This is still really, really good. It's in my pantry. So understand that you're going to want fruits in your storage as well. I get all kinds. Make all kinds, grow all kinds, and buy all kinds, period. I'm going to put this in here. This, instead of banana pudding per se, this is going to be simply pineapple pudding. Very simple. Have something on hand. You can whip this up. You've got something, again, hello down there, that you can whip up and have for a quick dessert on hand. Again, this is about not only caloric intake and things that you can make like that in a snap, it is also about emotional and mental satisfaction. And in a crisis situation, I don't know about you, Peg's pudding would make me feel a whole lot better. Speaking of, I want to lead you over here to this book. Miss Homestead Lady is the one that introduced me to this. There's a much larger book about larger situations. So if you see that, know that this is the recipe book, and I want to show you what I'm talking about in here. He talks about recipes for hard times, showing all of your meats, all kinds of things, your meats and vegetables and different things like that, rices, and then it gets into recipes. So if you're looking for simple recipes of how to make them, and especially if you need to work with wood heat, this is a great book for you to have. I'm going to put the link in the description below. I'm still going through it. You cook up all kinds of things in here, so I'll let you find that on your own. All right, I'm going to drain these. Put this over here. See the juice in there? You can do something with that. So put it in some bread, or feed it to your chickens, or put that in the juice into some water to sweeten up your water. Hey, so we're gonna put this in here and pour it. And I've got kids standing behind me going, "Stop filming. We're hungry. Let's go." All right, guys, just a quick snap of what this is looking like. You can add a little bit of cinnamon to it or whatever you like on top. Out of that can, look at all of the pineapple juice that I got. So if somebody else needs a little bit more of a boost, or you want to cook with it or make other things, now you've got that. Excellent, excellent. Another thing about this pineapple is I didn't need a can opener. So you simply just pop the top and go. Boom. I've got leftover custard because I've got one child who just wants the custard. So everybody here is being satisfied. We can just relax for just a few minutes and enjoy it, and learn a little bit more with Grandpappy's recipes for hard times. All right, we're going to be preparing a little bit later for dinner or supper. And this is dinner for us today because it's a late lunch situation, if you will. So we're going to enjoy this for a while, and we'll catch you a little bit later. All right, guys, I turned this on the side so you could see. Right here, you can see that I have a small supply of ready-made entrees for emergency purposes. I think that it is imperative that every household have at least one bucket of this. Guys, things happen, okay? We've talked about all this before. But right now, while, everything's fine and dandy, is a good time to test what I like. I think that's fair. Because if you don't like it, then you probably want to go to a different company. If you do like it, then you'll order more if you want to put some back. I think, guys, it's like insurance, okay? When you grow a garden, when you can foods, when you put things away, having food storage does not have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be expensive. You can put a little back every week, and before you know it, you have a very large supply. At least enough for your family to lean on during a crisis, which is the whole goal of our food storage. Crops don't come in, things happen, neighbors don't always pull through, things have to help other people. This is where stuff like this can really come in, okay? So, I don't know which one I'm going to pick. I haven't decided. Maybe I'll put it on Facebook and let everybody pick for me. So I'll take a picture. And we'll take a little test here and see what everybody says. So I'm going to put it says just add boiling water, baby. I can do that. Again, we're testing our food storage. That's what this whole journey is about. And I'm testing different things that I cook, working with wood heat, going to be working with different methods at different times. Because if you're going to test it and find out what works versus what doesn't, where your holes are, what you can add, and how you can do, this is the time to do it, right? So let's get started. All right, guys, in the meantime, I have my bread, going, so I'm going to get in here and wash my hands so I could film, because you can't do that and do this at the same time. It's virtually impossible. So I use no. I use organic sunflower oil to mix in with my breads and to knead them. That's what Miss Homestead Lady does. She doesn't use flour. She likes to use sunflower oil. And she works it and works it and works it. So what I'm going to do is, this is 2 loaves, so I'm going to make them and let them rise so I can get them going outside. What I'm going to do is make 1 loaf like I did the other day, and then I'm going to make those mini rolls again like I made to go with my Wise Foods dinner. So that's going to work pretty good. And then I'll have fresh bread for the next couple of days again. So I did use the whey that was left over from my cottage cheese. Here, it's still sitting up here. But I only had to use 2 cups. See? So the rest of it, I'm not sure what I'm going to do completely with it. I may go ahead and feed the rest of it to my chickens. So that's what we're going to do. We're making bread. The men are splitting wood for me because if you see the wood splitter we're showing here in the video, that is my present to my husband as well as his present to me for our 20 years together that we just celebrated. So we didn't go on a fancy dinner date. We didn't go to the beach. We didn't go on a cruise, and I didn't get a diamond. We got a wood splitter. The life of a homesteader. Let's keep working. All right, guys, I worked the dough, got it in the cast iron Dutch oven to make a whole loaf. Lodge, of course. And I've come back over here, and there's my little rolls. So I'm going to put them on the fire and flip these, of course. And then, of course, you've seen how we flip this. So I'm going to have bread, some for tonight, breakfast tomorrow, and lunch, and probably for 2 more days. So that works out really, really well. Having that backup storage of flour and the different baking items, I'm telling you, you're going to find out real quick, is extremely critical for your situation because you will go through it. Definitely. Let's get them going. All right, guys, moving fast. Weather's moving in, so we're going to keep on trucking. This is my bread. It did a great job of rising up. I feel like seeing a little rocky right now, but got my water is going to start boiling over here. You can see it moving along because tonight's dinner choice, as I told you, it's going to be Wise Foods, and I'm going to try the pasta Alfredo. So as you can see on the back, all you do is boil 4 cups of water, add the contents, stir it up, let it sit and get all yummy, and then you need to wait about 12 to 15 minutes. And then uncover it and let it cool and let it sit, and then you're going to eat it. So we're going to find out how this works as soon as we get the rest of this working. So we're going to put the lids on and keep working with the fire. Let's go. Fire on the mountain, run boys, run. Devil's in the house with the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, kicking out dough. Woo, we are having to manage this. Our wood splitter has revealed the source of some excellent wood burning here. All right, I'm going to take this boiling water off because that's going to stay for a while, and I'm going to add Wise Foods. Let's go. I'm going to have to rotate the bread. All right, guys, even though we had to move fast, everything came out awesome. This is what your pasta Alfredo looks like. Right in here, we did exactly as it said, and I'm telling you, I've already tasted it. The flavor is really, really good. I hate to say I'm surprised, but I'm surprised because, you know, you just think with something being packaged for such long-term storage that it'd be more bland. No, it's really, really good. So we're eating good tonight. Homemade cottage cheese. I have a whole video coming up on that. I made that today. Sliced tomato straight from the garden this afternoon. Our pasta. And then, hey, Sister Schubert, you ain't got nothing on us tonight. So this is our pull-apart rolls. This is my homemade, the ultimate bread recipe. I made it in the little rolls and we just flipped it. So this is what I'm going to call flip rolls, okay? So I'm going to tear that apart. And then for dessert, of course, I'm having leftover homemade Nana's pudding, or Peg's pudding as we call it, right there. And of course, we don't miss anything because I splashed some of that pineapple juice into my water right here to give it a little bit of extra flavor and zest. So I'd say we're eating pretty high on the hog tonight. What do you think? I'd say I'm giving the Wise Food here a pretty wise thumbs up. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We're going along with the journey with you, and you're going along on the journey with us. So we're going to just dig in and have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. If I didn't say that, we've been running. Y'all have a great night. Let's eat, guys. Here is the other side of the flip rolls. Yes, I'm eating. And this is what it looks like.